So, Dr. Pam Perry. Up next is the woman behind the visibility of some of the most recognized authors, speakers, and brands in the world. She's a connector and a branding queen known as the PR guru. Dr. Pam Perry is a powerhouse publicist, podcaster, and publisher of Speakers Magazine, transforming transforming emerging and best-selling authors, experts, and entrepreneurs into standout stars. As CEO of PamPerryPR.com, she is the genius behind the scenes, positioning and packaging and promoting top speakers, authors, and brands, as well as subject matter experts. She thrives on coaching her clients to be red carpet ready, branding them like superstars. Known as the master of connecting the right people for the right project at the right time, Dr. Pam Perry works hard to help her clients brand and get paid like superstars. If you are ready to get out there and get known, I want you to type PR in the chat. And as we do that, I would like you to put your hands together, throw some heart emojis in the chat as we present the world-class publisher of Speakers Magazine Award to the legendary Dr. Pam Perry. Dr. Pam?
Hey, hey.
Yes. Yes.
It's your time.
I can't keep up. Yes.
Now, you know that's my signature run name. Okay, the mic off. You've been waiting for so long time. It's your time to shine.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes, it's your time to shine. And this is yours,
Oh
Dr.
my
Pam.
God,
You're gonna take a
thank you.
picture.
Thank you.
Awesome. I'm gonna give you the sticker, and this
Okay.
page is yours.
All right. How's everybody doing? This is fun. Anybody like that song besides me? Okay. So, shining, stars, bright, your light. That's what we're here to talk about today. Shining your light. Don't stay visible. You heard Dr. Ola talk about it. You heard Megan talk about it. So we're going to talk about amplifying your message, but right after this message. Play the tape. Roll the tape.
Are you an author or a speaker or a subject matter expert wanting more exposure for your brand? Well, here's the secret. Get the media talking about you. Want to know how to get quick media coverage? Get media coverage so you can amplify your reach. Want to know how to get 500 plus media placements and 400 million audience reach? Dr. Pam Perry is offering guaranteed PR coverage with her quick media coverage PR packages. Dr. Pam Perry is a master publicity strategist that shows speakers and experts how to get seen, get heard, and get noticed so they can get paid. If you want immediate guaranteed publicity, go to quickmediacoverage.com. That's quickmediacoverage.com now.
Hey there, hey there. So we have heard about social media. We heard about getting on stages, but I'm going to talk to you about PR. Been doing PR for a minute. Turned 65 a couple of weeks ago, so I guess I've been doing it about 35 years or so. I don't know what it is. But anyway, it's been a long time. And so why does PR matter? One, it builds credibility and visibility. What does credibility mean? Trust. It's like, who do the people say they are? Are they really who they say they are? I know they putting a lot of nice stuff out on social media, but what does the media say? What can I read about them? What can I find in Google? So it builds credibility and visibility. So one of the things that I was PR proud about Dr. Ola when she did her intro when she first came up. She has been featured in Women's Journal. She was featured in Speakers Magazine. She also, too, had some other media outlets there that talked about her. And then also I had some other PR moments too, because Jennifer has been in American Business Stars, the U.S. Times, Business Sharks, Hustle Weekly, and in the June issue of Speakers Magazine. So those are the things that I guess you would say they're not just your social media things or not just things that other people say about you, but what the media has written stories about you. They can read a long form story. So media is magazines, which obviously I love. Been reading magazines since Jet Magazine was around. Newspapers. Actually, I worked for the Free Press for about 7 years. That was my first job out of college because I majored in journalism. So I will always be a newspaper person. Podcasts, which is really the new media. TV, obviously that's the holy grail of where you want to be. And I'll talk about how we can get on TV. And then stages, which amplifies your expertise. So credibility is currency, visibility leads to bookings. That's my client down there, Yolanda Smith. We wrote a press release for her, and she was named as a power partner for Inc. magazine. Good, Inc. is a magazine, but we wrote a press release to let people know that she won the award, and Fox picked it up. Okay, so that's how you're supposed to layer media up on top of media. So the other type of media features that gives you that credibility charger is Tamira. Tamira Chapman, I love it. So her first media hit after she left the corporate world, she went to start her own company, but she didn't really have any footprint. So her first media hit was CEO Weekly. Anybody ever heard of CEO Weekly? It positions her as that CEO. And so from the CEO Weekly, she's been in Black Enterprise, she's been in Forbes, she has won a WPO award, she has interviewed Michelle Obama on a platform as well. We wrote a press release about that. What I want to say is that Tamira is now a superstar, okay? She is really doing the darn thing. And so Tamira has been also too on in Essence magazine as well. But it starts with something as simple as having a story, then really writing a press release about that story, sending that press release out, and then having other outlets pick it up. And you have a publicist that pitches you. So TV, that's another thing. So Dr. Geneva, that's who you see right there. She is 75 and fabulous, okay? When she came to me, she had her brand already as a nonprofit leader. She'd been doing it about 40 years, but she wanted to do something different. How many people want to do something different outside of what you've been doing? If you want, put a 1 in the chat if like, I've been doing what I've been doing for a while, but I want to get positioned to do something different. Yes, you want to do something different. It's like, I've been there, done that. I want to do something different. So we kind of work, a publicist works with you not only for your messaging. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Paula, Jasmine, Yvonne. A publicist works with you to help you future see where you should be going. So with her, she wanted to do something with her life.
Welcome to paradise.
Okay, there we go. She wanted to go to paradise? I don't know. So she wanted to do something different. So she wanted to be a life coach. She wanted to help women really figure out their best life. And people would always say to her all the time, they say, oh my goodness, Geneva, you are just so vibrant. You are so vibrant. So she became the Vibrant Life Coach. So how did we really kind of position her where she's on television? She's written 4 or 5 books. We helped her do that because books are your hooks and they help solidify your positioning. So we pitched her story that had a broader appeal. It's like we went from being retired to being refired, from having a career to an encore career. She was camera ready. But when we first started, she did not want to do any television. She didn't want to do any Facebook. She definitely didn't want to do any TikTok. she was comfortable in her role as being just a nonprofit leader, but we try to put on a new identity and positioning. So we helped her really get to the point where she wrote the book, and she actually 4 or 5 books now at this point. But those books actually became hooks, and so then we could pitch her to CBS, ABC. One of the main things of Dr. Geneva, she was on Nightline, right? She was on Nightline as well. But what a publicist will do is help you build relationships, help you repurpose the media that you get. And give you an example of Sharon. Sharon had a read. She had a catering company. And she came to me and she says, I've got this catering company. It's February. I said, well, and what you have to do with PR in order to get media is that you've got to know the news cycle. So what goes on in February? Black History Month. She's a caterer. I said, you know what? We talk about soul food all the time, but let's talk about healthy soul food, because Sharon is also into very healthy food. So we wrote a press release. She got picked up for a couple of newspapers. So we took the newspapers and we pitched them to television. And she went in for a cooking segment during Black History Month on the ABC affiliate in Washington, D.C., and then also later a Fox affiliate in Washington, D.C. From that, so you can see how PR works in the train, from those 2 interviews, someone saw it and they gave her a contract for the soccer team in the Washington, D.C. area that she is now doing catering in that arena in the soccer, right? So it went to a multi-$100,000 contract from doing the long form story, which we pitched to the televisions as well. And that someone happened to see it. And it's like, she's been on Instagram. She posts on Facebook. She speaks. She does all those other things. But the television had that vetted by the journalist and had her on. Someone saw it, and then immediately it shortened her sales cycle. And the trust factor was there, and she got the contract. The other thing, so a little bit about radio. So we talk about television being the holy grail, but let's not forget radio. Radio Sirius XM. I have a really good friend that works for Sirius XM, and you can hear that anywhere if you have Sirius XM, right? So it is not just on the radio, it's actually in your car, it's everywhere you are. So how do you pitch radio? The same way you pitch anything. You craft a compelling hook, which usually is your book if you have one. Be conversational and authentic. Listen to the station to know what it is that they're covering, and then promote your book and event on there. Radio is probably the most in your ear, the most personable thing you can have. People have said all the time about my clients that I've heard them on the radio, or I heard them, and it just gives them that like I know them. The other radio station too that I put a lot of clients on is Black Information Network, nationwide on our iHeartRadio. So once they're on there, we take a press release, turn it into a long form story where it's maybe in a newspaper, and then we pitch to the producer. Those are the things that give you. Now, obviously, you can amplify all of these things by putting it out there that, hey, I'm going to be on Sirius XM, or hey, I'm going to be on Black Information Network. That adds more of a little bit of credibility of like, hey, I'm on Facebook, or hey, I'm on Instagram, or hey, I'm on Twitter. You now have the fact that you can say, I've been vetted by journalists and I'm going to be on their show. The other thing, magazines, love magazines. So some of my other clients I'm just looking at here have been in some magazines. Women's Journal obviously is one, but there's one in particular that magazines are very niche. I myself was written up in Rolling Out magazine. And I think it was when my business was 20 years old, because I'm 25 years old. So this was a while ago. But basically, it says Pam Perry shows authors and entrepreneurs how to win online and in business. Article was written by Yvonne. She wrote the story. She interviewed me. That little article got me so many clients. I want to say at least 20 clients who read that, Googled that, found that, and saw that. Now, I have an email list of about 10,000, I have Facebook followers, I have Twitter followers, but that little article written about me, so I'm really like my own proof, got me a lot of clients. So the same thing with any type of magazine, whether it's Speakers Magazine or it is Courageous Woman Magazine or Today's Purpose Magazine, Purpose Woman Magazine, which Natalie Solomon was in, and she's doing fabulous with that. I mean, she is coming out of corporate and now she's repositioning herself. And that Today's Purpose Magazine, if you Google Natalie A. Solomon and Today's Purpose Magazine, you'll see that she's in there. And of course, she's been in Speakers Magazine several times as well. But I love magazines because you can repurpose them. They are niche. People who read magazines are very, very loyal, very loyal. The other thing is podcast interviews. So I have clients that are on podcast interviews, and podcast is that other medium that is kind of like radio, but it's there forever on YouTube. And one in particular, Dexter B. Jenkins, he was on with Alfred Edmonds, who has been an executive editor for Black Enterprise for many, many years. He was on his podcast. The other person, Tari Donaldson, is on podcast. Now, Tari Donaldson, not only is she a superstar in the podcast world and she's been in magazines, but I also got her, PR-wise, she's on the cover of Speakers Magazine, and we got her on a New York Times billboard. And she actually went to New York from Ohio when she was on the billboard, took a picture, and then she uses that all the time on her gram. So she posts on her gram all the time, but not too many people post pictures of themselves on the New York Times billboard. Okay, and she's like standing in the background like, hey, I'm on the New York Times. Yeah. So anyway, so she has a book. She's been on CW Radio. Rodney C. Burroughs, and just talk a little bit about him. He's been on a podcast frenzy. He's probably been on like 100 podcasts. When he started with me, he hadn't been on any. So now he's kind of like, okay, I'm doing these podcasts. So he knows how to pitch. Obviously, that's one of the things. You have to find a podcast that aligns with your niche. You have to give them a story, and he was a great storyteller, and repurpose these interviews and posts and pitches and things like that. But he took a podcast that he did, he pitched it to his local town, which is Baltimore, to the newspaper in that town, the Black newspaper, which is the Afro, which is one of the largest African-American newspapers in the country. All these things, PR-wise, a publicist is pushing you, right? She's pushing you. He didn't want to do it. It's like, oh, I don't want to do it. Well, he did it. And he had the receipts. He had the podcast. So he was in there, and he did it. And he actually ended up on the front page of the Afro. And that, I told him, now take that article and mail it to your prospects. And he got clients. He got contracts. He sure did. He sure did. And he actually did it. He put it on the plaque, and he was real happy about it. I was like, go ahead now, do more, because you're only as good as your last PR hit. So how do you use PR also for speaking? I think Dr. Ola talked about that. If you have not done this experience, you do need to do this amplified, this VIP studio experience, because that is your PR. That is your PR. You've got to be comfortable about speaking. If you're not, go to Toastmasters. That's one thing you should do. Make sure you don't say a whole lot of ums. PR Power Combo. Magazines, newspapers, online, news hubs, podcasts, TV, radio, stages, all of that together. Marketing is an ING. It's an ING. It's not one and done. It is always, all the time. And so you want to make sure your Google is just not just on your social, but your Google is just in high domain sites, which are news sites. That's one of the main things. You want to make sure that you are on high domain authority sites. So put in your name in Google. Put your name in Google right now. And then hit that little tab that says news. And let me know if you had some news hits. Like in that news column, put in your name, not in all, but then hit the tab that says news. Tell me if anyone has any news that comes up in that tab, because let me tell you, TV producers like Tamron Hall and Sherry Shepard and Jay Hutt, they look at that. So does anybody have any news in their news stories, in their news tab if you put your name in Google? So when you put your name in Google, what does come up? Does your website come up first? Anyone? Just say, put one if it does. Okay, so if you put your name in Google, the first thing that should come up is your website. Thank you, Dr. Linda Jordan. You know, she client of mine, so she knows that's for sure. It should come up. Your LinkedIn. LinkedIn is good, but you don't own LinkedIn. You want your property to come up first. So that's the main thing. Not yet. Okay, Jasmine, we're going to make sure that it does. Okay, so that's Philip. There you go. You know, that's it. And also, to your news articles should come up too, Philip. The longer that they're out there, the more that it will come up. Philip had some articles. He was in American Business Stars as well, and the U.S. Times, and it's going to be in Black News as well. So know that this is a ripple effect of credibility and visibility. So how do you measure PR? So one of the main things is it's by visibility. Like I said, rolling out, client acquisition, revenue. Will it make you money? If you're a nonprofit, will it bring you donors? So it could either bring you clients, or if you're a nonprofit, it'll bring you donors, and brand recognition. You want people to say, I've heard of you. So if you're trying to pick a speaker and you're a speaker that is like, I have no media, versus a speaker that does have media and everything is equal, they're going to pick the speaker that has the media, the radio, the television, the newspapers, or the magazines. You want to have that brand recognition and get selected. It starts with having a story, knowing who to pitch, how to pitch it, and writing a press release. That's really like the main thing. I'm coming down in time here. The last thing. So are you ready to amplify your message? If you're ready to amplify your message so that you can be as seen in, and you see Sharon Morton over there in the corner, as seen in Radio 1, and she's seen in Speakers Magazine, Channel 4, Black Enterprise, 7, all of those things. You want to be able to say as seen in, because before you are introduced to someone, they are saying that they have been seen in Forbes, or they were seen, and that adds credibility versus like, oh, this is Pam, she's got a website. No, this is Pam, she's been seen in, you know, PBS, those kind of things. So if you're ready to amplify your message, figuring out like, I don't know if I'm ready for PR, you have to start somewhere. Make a decision that you want to get out of the fray, elevate, amplify in media. One of the key things that you want to do is making sure that you do really make sure that you are tackling or knowing your local media. Who is your local newspaper, local radio stations, talk shows, all of the local segments on television, knowing that, and then I can help you figure out how you can at least dominate your local area, become the big fish in the small pond, and then you could go to bigger ponds. So that's it. So go to pamperrypr.com/VIP. There's my phone number there. That is a real phone number. You can text me there. I may not answer a phone call, but you can text me there, pamperrypr.com/VIP. I love to help you amplify your message, get out there, and get known. Thank you so much. Take care. Let's make it happen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pam. Wow, wasn't that incredible?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
That timer
Thank
was
you.
good.
Yes, thank you. So, wow. So now we're going to go to our Q&A segment. And look at, I'm seeing the applauses. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Yes, wasn't that wonderful? What did you...
I see Isabella.
Yes,
Hey,
yes, yes, yes. So thank you for all the strategies that you shared with us. And so now we have some questions. And the very first question is...
Tracy!
Hi, Tracy! All right, so what are top media outlets to get features in for beginners?
So depending on where you live, I would say your local newspaper.
Okay.
You are doing them a great service if you give them a story. So your local newspaper is where you want to start. So with me, I live in Farmington, so I'm just starting out my Farmington news, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing your local newspapers and then maybe your dailies, depending on the section. Every daily has a business section, the women's section, the feature section. So get to know those reporters that write on those beats. Those are the beats. And so how do you fit in with that beat? So knowing your local, and then local television. That's always good too. Typically the morning shows are more feature-ish. And if you know the news cycles, you can find out who the producers are. You can call and ask them who's the producer of your morning segment, and actually then pitch, start pitching. So local newspapers, your daily newspaper, and then your local television. And a really trick that you could do as well, if you have a 24-hour news station in your city, that is always they have to fill that news hole 24/7. So they're always on the hunt. So write a press release and send it to that radio station 24 hours 7. In our market, it's a CBS station, WWJ. But every major market has a 24-hour news station, and they're always looking for news. So you got to listen to it to know what to pitch. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Pam. Now there's another question. What can give more leads publicity in TV, radio, or magazine for virtual events? Wondering where to start first to get people signing up for my events.
If you're trying to what could give more leads? TV or magazine for a virtual event? So obviously it's going to be something virtual. So I would say some kind of online virtual, depending on what it is, some kind of online virtual magazine or news outlet, because you want people to click and go through. But this is not PR, but make sure that you put it on Eventbrite. Eventbrite is its own marketing tool, because Eventbrite will send out people maybe who have said that they went to one event and then you may also like that. So they'll send out emails for you, people that you don't even know, but they're a part of Eventbrite. So if you want people to show up for events, go on Eventbrite, and it has good Google juice. It just has good Google juice. So get on Eventbrite, because when people hear about it, they're gonna, oh, where can I go? And usually Eventbrite will show up. So go on Eventbrite, B-R-I-T-E, not bright like a bright light, but B-R-I-T-E, Eventbrite.com, and it will do the marketing for you. And make sure that you always do a Facebook event and you do a LinkedIn event, because if it's specific for events, do that if you want to get people to come to the event. So Eventbrite is a really good one. And depending on where the event is and what it's about, you look at your local newspaper and get in calendar listings as well, because that has really a high domain authority, but you can also make sure that your event is going to get that Google juice, be Googleicious.
Powerful. Thank you so much for that wonderful gem on Eventbrite. You know, I've not actually posted any of my events on Eventbrite.
Oh my God!
So I'm getting some insight here as well.
Yes, Eventbrite works. They will do the mailing for you, okay?
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Wonderful,
yes.
wonderful. So our last question is, any advice on writing press releases? Do I need a PR person to write and send them?
Of course you do. You need me. No.
Yes,
You can use me, but I'm going to be real, true, transparent. ChatGPT can write it for you. You heard Jennifer talk about that. But you do need someone that can look it over for you, because you need to make sure that you're doing it the right way. So you can have it written by ChatGPT. You have to have a publicist look at it to make sure it has the right hook. And you also need a publicist to tell you who to send it to, so it can get picked up. But yeah, you can actually put it out on PR Newswire or PR Law or any of those type of things. They even can help you, EIM Wire, they can help you write it now as well. So if you go to a press release service, they can help them write it. But you do need a publicist that has a relationship with the media to get it picked up. Yeah,
Wonderful.
Good question.
Yes, great questions. And thank you so much, Dr. Pam. Wow, that was powerful. Yeah. You know, wasn't that powerful? Drop powerful in the chat. That was powerful. Thank you, Dr. Pam.
Thank you
for showing us.
I'm your PR fairy godmother, okay?